So, for those of you who don't know, these two very popular podcasters, James and Fuhad from Shxts and Gigs, they are basically being canceled right now. And they just released an apology because of all the craziness that's come out this past week. So, I'm going to briefly catch everybody up and then I'm going to dive into this apology because I listened to it and I've got some notes. Before I dive in, hi everybody. For those of you who are new here, my name is Shayna. I'm a journalist. I also talk a lot about decentering men and child-free living. So if any of that sounds like a vibe, please like, share, and subscribe. And now let's dive into this. So just the quick backstory, it all really starts with, thank God I can't see his face. I can't remember what his name is, but just picture like a wet napkin of a man. This guy who runs some podcast that's consistently problematic and racist invited James and Fuhad to come on while they were on their US tour. So they get onto this podcast. I really did not listen to any of it except for the clips that were circulating of when this man up here, Wet Napkin Man, brings up, I think Fuhad initially brings up the black girlfriend effect and talking about how, yeah, you know, it's this trend where black women, where like people share their like non-black partners of black women share their glow ups that have been had because of their deep loving relationship with black women. And then this man proceeds to talk about how this man right up here proceeds to talk about how abusive and violent and vile and terrible black women are. Proceeds to ask them like, oh, so you date outside your race, who do you prefer? They don't answer because they both have vocalized dating white women. And like as he's spewing all of this racist misogynoir vitriol about black women, these two just laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh in front of this guy. The other white people, like hosts of the show, and I think there's another black guy that's right next to Fuhad that also did not speak up for black women. And then as this is happening, madness ensues. Once this video goes live, this podcast goes live, everybody's talking about it because it was pretty telling. It was pretty telling the amount of disrespect that they were able to literally giggle about, that black women are thrown every single day, and to see members of our own community just like let us get beat down over and over again. Yeah, it was a lot. So before I dive into my notes, I really want to talk about something that I have not heard other people talk about as it relates to what's been going on with these two. There's been a lot of conversation about how men like this, specifically black men like this, which unfortunately is such a large demographic, the ongoing expression is disappointed but not surprised. And what I don't think is talked about enough, because as black women, we get beat down by every demographic, everybody's beaten on black women. Right. And obviously that gets even more severe when it comes to colorism, the darker shade you are, and then you got texture, you got all these different ways to punch a black lady. Right. And what I have not seen talked about is, hey, yeah, like it's upsetting, but I'm not surprised. Because we get hit in so many different spaces and we get neglected in so many different spaces, we try not to open ourselves up to emotional pain. We try not to let the emotion seep out because you never want to let them see you sweat, right? But I do think that it's important to talk about how behaviors like the ones that these two have expressed and the ones that we all have experienced in our lives, they are hurtful. It makes us sad. It makes us angry. It makes us feel alone. And I think that it's important for us to use that kind of language in these kinds of conversations, because actions like what happened in this podcast, it's not just unfortunate and it's not just disappointing. And this is me also speaking to myself, because as a very, very airy air sign, I don't like to live in a feeling space. It's gross and it's uncomfortable, but it has been made very clear to me that it's something I need to work on, so I'm practicing. But with that, it's important to talk about how much this hurts, because it doesn't just hurt us as individuals, it hurts the black community. It doesn't just hurt the black community, it is damaging to us at an emotional level. And so this behavior damages the black community. So when all these men talk about, oh my goodness, why can't we all just come together? I miss when the black man was the head of the... When this is what we have to deal with on a day-by-day basis from people all over the men, our own men, all over the diaspora, this is what it is. So also, as I'm speaking this, please recognize that I'm hoping that, and I feel like a lot of people in my audience get it, but I also know that some people who are pretty new here might not. Some of what I'm saying is very specific to the Black community. Like, this is a for us by us conversation in parts, but parts of what I'm getting ready to get into is more of like a convo for everybody. So let's dive into my notes on there. It's an apology, but also So I want to start this off by saying that I do think that they were being as honest as they could be. Yes, I think they were being as honest as they could be, which is very helpful for deciphering what. Let me read what I have. It helps us to navigate without having. It helps us to listen to what they were saying and create thoughts and conversations without having to navigate weird filters. So I appreciate the honesty that they brought in, but obviously still have notes. Here's my handy dandy. I'm just going to read some of what I have over here. So note number one that I have is when James says fight or flight is a real thing. And I'm just going to read this word for word. In the patriarchal power struggle between white men and Black men, fight or flight allows for both to punch down to protect themselves. For white men, it is the imaginary danger of, oh my goodness, somebody's going to take my oh my goodness, somebody's not going to like me. For Black men, it is the very real experience of racism, but they both benefit from the patriarchy, right? But that fight or flight thing that he's talking about, their flight allows for punches down to that, because the punch is coming from somewhere, right? And if a Black man is in this like metaphorical image space, right, a white man he's rearing, cocked back, ready to go. Now, right behind the Black man is the Black woman. That fight or flight, either he's going to fight what is coming his way, the fist that is coming his way, and either says enough, I will not participate in this, or like has an action back, or he's going to flee and step to the side. And guess who's right behind him? The Black woman. And 9.5 + 2 times out of 10, they will step to the side. Exhibit A. Point number two, they talked about protecting their audience as a duty of theirs as well-known podcasters. I got a question for everybody. When was the last time a man protected you in real time? For me, it's never. Their protection, in my experience, has always come after the damage has been done. The only people in my life that has actually protected me in real time have been queer people and women. That whole provide and protect thing that men really feel like they have going for themselves, I do not know a real life example of that. And even in a space where no physical damage could be done, what protecting did they do? None. Point number three, they said you don't know how to prepare for something you don't know is going to happen, talking about the kind of questions or the kind of interview that was going to be happen. Yeah, that's where your integrity comes in. That's where your character comes in. That's how this works. Unexpected moments show the foundations of who you are, and unfortunately, most men are cowards. And so when push comes to shove and the unexpected comes, you see that they are cowardly. And my final note on this, they round out this clip anyway with you guys are all we have, talking about Black women. Let me rephrase that. Black women, you are all we have. So do better by us. If we are all you actually have, then do better by us. And I'm not just talking about like these guys. I'm not just talking about Black men. I'm talking about all men. And the more that people realize, and this goes for all genders, right? All genders, all races. When Black women win, everybody wins. When Black women are taken care of, everybody benefits. And as these two guys are realizing in real time, when we say enough is enough and we will not support you, there is not enough dirt to fill the hole that y'all are about to fall through. And right here in the comment section, we will protect ourselves like we always have. Yeah. Love to hear your thoughts on this. Please type them away in the comment section. I'm going to go to bed, so I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.